Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is a Benjamin Bloom football channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for our dearly departed League One edition. Apologies for the ridiculous scheduling this week. I hope you forgive me. Poor old Knappers has been on the end of the phone. It might be tonight. It might be tomorrow. It might be the next night. It might be the next. I let him know about 2 hours ago that we were going to do this. So thank you for joining at short notice, and welcome to the main man, the League One guru, the curator of the Cods Vlogs channel. Welcome along, Knappers. How's it going?
I'm very well, mate. It was actually quite good because I was at work when you messaged me, and I finished about 25 minutes ago, and he goes, "What can you sound longer?" I'm like, "I've got to go and do my second job, the interesting bit, talk about football for an hour or so." So, no, I'm great to be on. And a good first weekend of action, some good results, some good performances from the 5 teams on display, even though they didn't all get a positive result. A lot of positive signs, and maybe not some good positive signs from the 5 teams as well.
Brilliant stuff. So he set me up beautifully there. Have a look along the top. The Dearly Departed was originally a Premier League show. We looked at all the teams, promoted out the Championship, and saw how they were going to get along in the Premier League. So many requests to do it going the other direction, which might actually be more fun because they might actually win some games, unlike the 3 relegations I had to put up with in the Premier League last year. So our 5 teams are, of course, Wycombe, Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham, and we picked out Wigan and Charlton from 2019-20 as well. Now, there is a Q&A section at the end, so if you want to talk about other teams that aren't in our 5, we're happy to do that at the end. But, of course, if you do want to know about the other 19 teams in this league, if only there was somebody who did a channel covering the whole of League One, you can go over to Knappers' channel. Where can they find the whole shouting match, Knappers?
Over on my YouTube channel, Cods Vlogs, CODS Vlogs, VLOGS. Again, Fleetwood Vlogs, as well as League One's kind of predictions, and I'll be doing the odd live show every kind of 2 weeks as well, talking about the results, and I do kind of the top 10s and every club's best signing, and kind of give reasoning behind it as well. And I actually so devoted to the cause. Could have gone out with my mates the other day, but I spent my whole Saturday making a spreadsheet of how many appearances a player's going to make this season, how many assists, how many goals, and yellow cards. So, but like I say, I like to be as prepared as I can. And if you want to go and give me a sub, closing on 7,000 now.
Get in. A man after my own heart, spending his Saturdays making football spreadsheets. Excellent stuff. Let's say hello to some people in the chat. Zach says we were biased against Sheffield Wednesday. So, Zach, if you would like to tell, we believe in your right to free speech. You'll have to tell us what we said that was biased, and we will happily respond, because we hope we won't do that. Nat, welcome. Harry, Benjamin is GOAT. Which one? Gibbler, welcome. Lots of people in the chat here. Blooming, fantastic. Yes, Shaylee and Baby are fine. They are still in the hospital, for anyone asking. I know I'm going to get trouble saying, "What are you doing a show?" I can't do anything else. I can only visit for 2 hours a day because of COVID. That was between 4 and 6. So hopefully no one will tell me off for being on here tonight. Right. Shall we get into this? So we're going to go through our 5 teams. Let me just bang through the week 1 results down there in League One. It was Bolton 3, MK 3. Cambridge 1, Oxford 1, Crewe 1, Cheltenham 1, Doncaster 1, FC Wimbledon 2, Fleetwood 0, Pompey 1, Gillingham 1, Lincoln 1, Ipswich 2, Morecambe 2. And then I think all our 5 teams are down there, aren't they? Rotherham 2, Plymouth 0. We'll be looking at that one. Shrews 0, Burton 1. A dearly departed derby, we call these, Knappers. Sunderland 2, Wigan 1. That's 2 of our teams playing one another. There's another next week as well. Wycombe 2, Stanley 1 is another of our games. And Charlton 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. So first of all, we are going to be having a look at Rotherham 2, Plymouth 0. I keep calling them the League One gurus, and they started with a win, and they're already top of the league. Rotherham, it was a 2-0 win over Plymouth. There is your Rotherham team there. Your Hansen and Heckler, Wood, Harding, Miller, Ogbene, Wiles, Barlasa, Lindsay, Smith and Ladapo. They came out 2-0 winners over Plymouth. Ladapo and Wiles with the goals. Let's just have a quick look at a couple of stills. So Ladapo, set play, just shoves it over the line with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Plymouth players looking on helplessly around him. Really nice finish, I thought, this one by Wiles. Bit of championship quality there. Touch. He just bends that in the top corner, and the keeper kind of looks away as if to say, what do you want me to do about that one? Rotherham 2, Plymouth 0. Knappers, your thoughts?
Yeah, you see Rotherham are obviously the gurus of League One. I think Wood at the back for them is another guru for them. I think he's won the 2 promotions from League One with them. He stayed around. And I remember when he came on loan to Fleetwood, I think Rotherham were in the Championship and we got him loaned. And, or within League One. Anyway, we got him loaned and very good. He went on loan for a month. He scored an own goal on his debut. After that, he was very good. Went back to Rotherham and was a regular for them then. And since then, he's kicked on. I think it was a back 3 for Rotherham. Iweekwe, Wood and Harding as a back 3. Looks solid up front. Lepardo and Smith as a front 2. I think in League One, that combo's going very underrated. I've not heard anyone talk about it. Lepardo was very good at Plymouth. I know they were giving him a bit of stick on Saturday. He scored about a minute later. Again, a scrappy League One goal, but you have to be there to finish them. Smith, again, he's a health freak. He likes holding the ball up and the
Knappers, do you think, sorry to cut you off, do you think Smith will end the window in League One? Because we've now got money sort of gone in at Blackburn into the Championship. And I'm not saying that's where he'll end up, but we knew there was bids from Borough already, didn't we?
Yeah, I think he's quality enough to make the step up to the Championship. He's been kind of a bit like a main man in a poor side. I think like EP2 was last year. He was a very good player, very talented, and he had moments of absolute brilliance for Wycombe last year. He just needs more service, and he had crosses coming into the box. He'd score goals, and as someone like a Blackburn, he can go there and be the main man. Everything feeding into them, crossing into the box. He'll go and score 10, 15 goals in the Championship. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Rotherham player, but they can keep hold of him. I know they've not signed much. I think Rathbone and Ferguson the only ones. I think that'll be the best piece of business this window.
Let's have a look at the numbers. They do play fairly heavily in Rotherham's favour, I've got to say. Look at that. 7 shots to 2 on target. Double figures for corners. 5 big chances to 0. Looks like a fairly viable win. And as you can see there, in the embryonic league table after 1 game, only team to win by 2 goals. They go straight up to the top. Respect to Knappers, Stoke, Lincoln and Wednesday. Are they all away games?
Yeah, we had Stoke away on Tuesday, which was not too far to be fair. Lincoln's on Saturday and then Wednesday, but on a couple of weeks' time we've got Plymouth away, so that should be a nice one. Just a nice 650-mile round trip then.
I've done it many times. Chris says Rotherham were 14-1 to win the league. It does sound like a reasonable price, looking with hindsight there after 1 week. Paul Warren on Radio Sheffield sounded a little frustrated. Said he'd like to sign 3 to 4 players. I still think they'll bring a couple more in, won't they?
Yeah,
with the Crooks money, Knappers.
Yeah, I agree. And sorry to cut you off there, Ben. I think I remember Joey Barton saying this couple of games. You've got to remember the Premier League are only starting this week, and the Premier League are emptying the bins. And these, they're not bad bins. They're kind of, your Morrisons, your Waitroses bins. They're not kind of your oldies and your little bins. You know what I mean? You can get some good fields of quality. Like Rotherham have, worked the loan market really well in recent years. Obviously, Lewis Wing being one of them last season. So, be interesting to see who they bring in. But they'll bring a couple in. I do think they are a little bit light, but adding Rathbone, adding Ferguson, does make them better in League One, in my opinion. And that back three is very good. Maybe add one there and add a striker, which they've got the funds to do, even if it's a free transfer or a loan, because players need a club, and they're going to take anything. Get a 2-year contract, you're safe for 2 years instead of trying to get 500 quid a week more and risk being without a club if you're going to another lockdown.
100%. I totally agree with Joey Barton's analogy. And this year, more than ever, remember we were told, I don't know, about 18 months ago or whatever it was, whenever COVID first hit, that there'll be just players out of contract everywhere. They're going to be the last ones that get picked up after the loanees. But I still think it'll be busy in League One as well. I think a lot of deals will be done late on, won't they? So yeah, I agree with all said there. Right, let's go on. Wycombe 2, Accrington, Stanley 1. Get your comments in on Wycombe and Stanley. Obviously, Wycombe getting off to a win, and there is the Wycombe side: Stockdale, so Grimmer, Stewart, Jacobson, Obita, McCarthy, Pendlebury, Horgan, Scowen and Vokes, who have both played at much higher levels than League One for sure. And 2-goal, Gareth McCleary. They came up against Accrington. Let's have a little look at these strikes here, if I find the right spot. Vokes combining with McCleary there. Cut back. Can he find the gap? Yes, he can. First time McCleary. This is a lovely goal, this one. Okay, keeper's positioning not great. Loads of pressure on McCleary. He doesn't quite dink it, but he sort of floats it over the keeper into the back of the net. Stanley get one back 4 minutes from the end. That is kind of a slice half volley with the left foot. Decent finish actually by Mark Butcher. Squeaky bum time a bit at the end, but Wycombe go on and get the victory. Your thoughts on any of that, Knappers?
I agree, and I remember you saying recently about Wycombe's back five and how good they were, especially in the second half of last year, especially the last 8-9 games. They got like 16 points from it, and they were very good. And David Stockdale in goal is a big influence on that Wycombe team. I remember when Ryan Alsop, who's now at Derby, left out the side, got injured, and Stockdale came in, a bit of experience, looked a different side. And that back five, they've got the width, they've got the wing backs, and in that front two, Vokes and McCleary, you've got someone that can hold the ball per target, when the McCleary, who's years of experience in the Championship with Reading, didn't quite score a lot last year, but up and running now, 2 goals on his League One debut for Wycombe. Good signs, and he's still got a great bench, Sully Kai, Akin Fenwar came on as well, Samuel. So, they've got good characters on that bench and good characters in the squad. And while they've got Gareth Ainsworth, they'll be fighting for that top 6. And Sam Lavelle, a lad I know very well from his time at Morecambe, a local lad round here, set to join. He's a Wycombe type player, very steady on the ball, good age, captain of Morecambe. They'll go strength to strength, and they'll be there or thereabouts. I think they're stronger than they were 2 years ago by a lot.
I think we've got to go for Jack's message there, because he's got Akinfenwa in the picture with him, hasn't he? Nice job there. We picked up loads of injuries against Exeter in the Cup midweek. Hopefully they aren't too bad. If they aren't, I think we'll bounce straight back. A bit of confidence around Wycombe. Numbers a little bit different, but we expect that from Wycombe. Possession, only 39%, but it's really not 9/10 of the law, is it? 16 shots. Look at those on the finishing, though. 0 big chances to Wycombe, 2 to Accrington. So for you XG buffs there, like me, you might have seen that as a, quote, unfair XG result, but Wycombe obviously played the penalty boxes better and got the victory. There they are. Let me scroll the table up a little bit. There they are up in 4th, and they were our second winner on opening day. Let me just do a quick couple of plugs before we go any further. Make sure you keep your comments coming in, share your knowledge, drive the debate. We'll read as many of them as we can. Apologies. Sometimes you just don't see them and they fly up the feed. So apologies if we don't read them out. Keep trying. Your persistence is not annoying. It's necessary sometimes because I'm doing 20 things at once. Hit that like button wherever you're watching the stream. We're live currently on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. 18,000. I think we're over 18,800 now. And thank you, Knappers. Make sure you go and subscribe over there because, like I said, you get 5 League One teams here. You get 24 on his channel. And as ever, you can support financially via Super Chat and Super Stickers. And, of course, we'll split those in half between the two of us if you do. So don't worry. I'm not going to pocket your money. This is the Dearly Departed League One review show. And after we've finished chatting about this weekend's games, we will have a look at what's going on next week. Always fun, these Knappers. We've got to talk about a 0-0. But it was a dearly departed derby. A big game so early in the season. Charlton versus Sheffield Wednesday ended up 0-0. We can kind of have a little feel around the teams and the personnel. Charlie Kirk into Charlton today as well. That's already been mentioned in the comments, so raise that. So it was McGoldrick, Matthews Innes for Mayhew, Gunter, still fine Gunter, Clare, Morgan, Dobson, Washington, Stockley, Jayasimi. For Wednesday's kind of new look Wednesday team here, Peacock, Farrell starting in League One, Hunt, Iorfa, Hutchison, Palmer, Bannon, Wing, Adinaran, Green, Patterson, Brown. Bit of quality actually in that Wednesday team, you would have to say. No goals for us to look at. Couple of close calls. Albie Morgan shaped that into that massive gap there with the left foot. No, he's going to smash it over the crossbar. Goal is gaping to the keepers right there. And this would have been a hell of a goal. Spot the ball there, just going round the right-hand post. Barry Bannon had done a nutmeg, a dribble, and just tried to shape that in the corner. Would have been a hell of a goal. Just sticks it around the post. The numbers tell us 1 shot on target in the game. 0 shots on target for Charlton would be worrying. Neither side able to win this one on opening weekend, Knappers.
Yeah. Charlton, again, I mentioned last week, they've done very good business, but I looked at their bench and I thought 0-0, half an hour to go. I looked at both benches really and I thought there's not much quality, if I'm honest with you. Both 11s would probably be up there in the best 11s. But where your difference is, Ipswich have got a very good 21. Sunderland have got a very good 14-15. Port have got a very good 4. And I just thought there's not much real quality. I looked at who can they bring on? Pearce, a 33-year-old centre-half. Davidson, who was okay at Forest Green Rovers. Barring that, they were all kids or not really threatened. Sheffield Wednesday made a couple of subs as well. I think Charlton only made 1 sub in the last minute, and that was Claydon for Washington. So I think that shows you where Atkins is at. Wednesday, I thought, again, that 1 shot on target doesn't really represent the game. I thought it was a poor game, but both teams will get better. Both teams will add. They've got injuries coming back. They've got players coming back. And if they can add a couple of goals or a couple of players, even if they're the low knees, I think they'll both be fine. But Wednesday, the stronger team out of the two for me at this moment.
Yeah, and honestly, I've seen Bannon take the mick in Championship, let alone in League One. So maybe we might get a bit of fun from him this season. Actually, that's a well-timed comment from Evan there. Charlie Kirk is a huge signing. Tell us about Charlie Kirk and his possible influence there at Charlton.
Well, one thing with Crewe, I always said they've got like kind of a small pitch at home, but they always took the game to teams, and they were in your face, they're horrible, and that's what you need to be. You need to be energetic, and he was part of that. He scored goals, he got assists. Brilliant.
Took Ipswich down under Lambert. I know that wasn't hard, but really looked good against us last season.
Absolutely, and he was one of those that kind of went 20,000 fans. I'm going to thrive upon this, and right. At Charlton, you're going to get 12,000 minimum fans at home. The atmosphere at the Valley of the day was unbelievable. You just wanted to be there to see it, and I had gone from 3,000 home fans to watching on Sky to 14,000 Charlton fans non-stop against 3,000 sellout Wednesday. So Charlie Kirk will be a very good signing. If you can use him well, play him. And like Dave Artell did, he got the best out of him. He used him a lot, used him in his best position. And, one of the wings or in behind, he's very, very good player. And big loss for Crew. Got some money on him. They can reinvest. Good deal all round. Charlton adding some much needed depth. But, you look at their business. Famoho, Stockley, McGoldrick, Charlie Kirk. It's very good. They just need 3 or 4 more. And how long I'm going to keep saying this for, I don't know.
Alex mentioning a few players not around at Sheffield Wednesday. The trouble I'm having with this, Knappers, is we've said, and this is not us blagging, a lot of clubs have had good windows in League One. Everyone acknowledges how strong it is. But it really feels like with so many teams, we're looking at middle of September to really kind of take a good look at them. Do you understand what I'm saying? We feel like we're kind of in stasis here for about the first 5-6 games, don't we?
Absolutely. And I'm the same with Fleetwood. I know we're not going to do well this year, but how badly we are going to do, I don't know. And I like that element of surprise of teams that you not know what you're going to, what you're going to get from, your bottom half sides. You do know that. But with Sheffield Wednesday, with Charlton, with Wigan even with Wycombe and Wednesday as well, every team in that list, you don't know what you're going to get because they will surprise you. And I remember you saying it's not the best team, it's the best tactics, it's the best organisation.
Oh, yes.
And Italy, they weren't the best team in the Euros. If you looked at it, you'd probably rank them maybe 5th or 6th best. But they had an organisation, they had a hard-to-beat foundation, they didn't concede goals, they had a goal scorer, and that's what Wycombe have, that's what Rotherham have, that's what Charlton have. Wednesday and Ipswich have good teams, but do they have enough goals in them? I don't know. And Wigan, Charlie Wyke as well. He was very good for Sunderland last year, but he needs a service. So I am looking forward to seeing it. But I reckon one of those teams, I'm going to put this out now, will go on a 10 or a 15 game unbeaten run. And one of them is going to fail miserably. There's always one, but there'll be one of those teams that go on a very good run.
Well, it's the joke in our predictions, isn't it? I've got 10 teams in my top 6. They cannot all finish in the top 6, can they? And I think from watching Ipswich the last couple of seasons, the thing I've learned about League One, and Ipswich are a good example of a team that had good size, good sort of financial power relatively, but not a very good pattern of play. For the first 2 months of the season, in the last 2 seasons, it worked. And they kind of bullied their way. When you got to November, December, and teams who were well coached kind of got going, the teams like Ipswich, frankly, of the last couple of seasons, down they went. And, the kind of truth outed there, didn't it? Chris, not going to know anything till end of October. Seems a lot of change, and all the top clubs agree with that. Mark, in fact, we've got Bannon for Hutchison to stay is good. Gregory Windass, Canberry will smash the goal. So much optimism.
Signed a new deal, hasn't he?
Yeah, so much optimism at so many teams there. We've got to talk about one where there was plenty of optimism. Our last one here, which was Wigan, but they went down to early season defeat here away at Sunderland, which maybe at the end of the season we'll be looking and they've got an amazing home record and we'll say nobody won at Sunderland this season. But there we go. What are we saying? There's your Wigan team. Amos in goal, Darikwa, Watmer, Long, Pearce, Naylor, Power, Lang, Will Keane, Gwion Edwards, some familiar names here to me, Charlie Wyke up top. And, of course, being an Ipswich fan, when you're labouring to a last-minute 2-2 draw at home to Morecambe, of course, Gwion Edwards, who you've just sold, is going to smash one in the top corner after 5 minutes, isn't he? There's it's a good finish, actually. It bounces off the post. I know there's a big gap, but it comes at him really fast, and he shapes it into the top corner. McGeady, the first of no doubt many for him this season from the spot. Look at those fans behind the goal as well. Great to Great to see. And set plays, ladies and gentlemen. Second half is Ross Stewart from Embleton's set play. Just glances that one in the corner. Early defeat for Wigan. Just come up against a playoff semi-finalist last year and too much. What are you saying, Knappers?
Well, Wigan fans, if you want cheering up, Charlton went to Sunderland in the second season League One 2 seasons ago. I think they went 1-0 up, lost 2-1 at the Stadium of Light, played them in the playoff final. You were there, beating 1-2-1 in the last minute. So by that means, Wigan are going up by the playoffs with the last minute winner against Sunderland, and Sunderland having a 5th year in League One. No, again, a good start by Edwards. 15 minutes in, a great goal, like you mentioned. And the character, yes, it's a pen. 2 minutes later to go and score 1-1, and to have 31,000 fans, 29,000 home fans roaring you on again. It's 12 against 11 then, and that's what Sunderland needed. Aidan McGeady and Stewart again. Charlie White's replacements come in, done a good job and scored a goal. And again, Elliot Embleton, a new signing for Sunderland, basically. Been there years, went on loan to Blackpool last year. We talked about him briefly last year when he went on loan and scored a goal against Oxford in the second leg, getting an assist. He was probably one of their man of the matches in the game. He was unplayable at times, hardly give the ball away, pass forward, pass with purpose, and suddenly got the job done. And they still need a few more squad members, don't get me wrong. I think they're short in a lot of areas, but the winning games of football and good start. Two games in a week, 2 in the cup, play Blackpool away, and 3 points against a good Wigan side at home.
Looks like a reasonably viable one here. Pretty close on the possession. 16 shots to 8. Always look at the big chances. Only one big chance in the game for Wigan, according to those type metrics. I think it'll take them a little bit of time to get going. Cheeky question. Will there be a double win in the Ipswich v Fleetwood games? We have to say we can't lose in this situation because someone here is going to win, aren't they, out of you and I? So we'll play it very
draw.
And get you anywhere in 46-game leagues, do they?
Oh, to be fair, as a little Fleetwood and trying to get to 50 points as ever, Fleetwood would take a point away or even at home to Ipswich, you know what I mean? So, whereas it's a dent in your, promotion bid. But let's see, we've got Wednesday coming up soon, so that'll be an interesting game, and tickets all bought, and the massive 400 COD army will be there. 400, that's a big crowd for us, Ben.
No, it's just Hillsborough is just so massive, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's just, even at Championship, so I've been at Hillsborough in a Sheffield derby, and it was really loud as well. So it's just quality. It's absolutely quality, isn't it? Right. That is how our 5 teams got on in opening round. Let's just bung up the round 2 fixtures, and we can see what is sort of going to pop out for our lot next time out. So first of all, Rotherham up at the top of the table and with the opening win go off to Wigan. I don't like the sound of that if I'm a Wigan fan, because it's like you want this new attacking configuration to settle a bit, and it looks like Rotherham are straight back into that rhythm. Would you make Rotherham fairly strong favourites for that one, or can you see Wigan getting something, Knappers?
I think the difference is in the size that Rotherham are a very same side. There's not many new additions. The 2 new additions were on the bench in Rathbone and Ferguson, whereas Wigan are very new. They're gelling again. They've got White, they've got Humphreys, they've got Max Power, they've got Iain Edwards, they've got Watmore. And I know the manager's worked with Watmore before with being assistant manager at Portsmouth, but it will take time to gel and get the ideas. And this could be a slow start for Wigan, like it was for Blackpool last year. They only had 1 win in the first 7 and then won 22 at the last 39. So I wouldn't write Wigan off just yet, but Rotherham are strong. They've been together a while, and I do reckon, like you say, it will be a Rotherham win in that one, because just the togetherness and, not much. You don't really need gelling, really.
Mark, Ladapo is a handful for Rotherham. Surprised the Championship club hasn't picked him up yet. Sure, the Fleetwood support will be better than some on a Tuesday. Yes, on a Tuesday night game, yeah, you do get some empty away ends up there in League One. Ben says Wigan next 3 fixtures: Rotherham, Wycombe, and Charlton. There we go. So we've got plenty of. We're only going to have to do 4 games a week for the first few of these shows. David says, "Let's see how optimistic Wednesday are after they've played us next weekend." Lovely stuff. Next one in the preview is Wycombe, who go away to Cheltenham. Cheltenham drew 1-1 at Crewe on the first day. Newly promoted League 2 team against savvy Wycombe with their kind of extra quality. Am I piling on an away win in that one, Knappers?
Yeah, but Cheltenham will make it tough. Home, wanting to make a good impact. Duff's a good man. I think he'd be pleased with a point away at Crewe. It's a tough place to go. Even a point, again, 2 points from 2, I think he would have taken because you're off the mark. But Cheltenham will want to get into Wycombe's faces and they'll make it tough. I think they'll go at them. But I think that will make it stronger for Wycombe that can pick them off with a long ball, header on from Vokes. So then, you've got your McClearys, you've got your Sonny Kaikais that can pick them off at any time. So I do agree. I think Wycombe will win this, but Cheltenham will make it hard. I think it could be, it's going to be 0-0, I've said this. It could be a 2-1 or even a 2-2 or a 3-2. Either way, that one.
Doncaster versus Sheffield Wednesday is obviously the Darren Moore derby, nice and early in the season. I wonder what sort of reception he'll get from those away fans of Doncaster after jumping. Doncaster went down 2-1 at home to AFC Wimbledon. They did lead. Bit of an upset, that one. Not a great start for Donny. Obviously, it's going to be a spicy one. Wednesday want to get off the mark in terms of goals and in terms of wins. Richie Wellens vs Darren Moore. What are you saying, Knappers? Wednesday v Doncaster.
Tough game. Again, Wednesday will be up for it. They weren't up to scratch on Saturday. They weren't ready, but players coming back to fitness. I think there's been more minutes in the legs for them this week. And like I said, they've had a fresh week. Doncaster went to penalties against Walsall. Wednesday obviously played their cup tie a couple of weeks ago, didn't they? A week before the season. So that's good for them. They've got extra kind of recovery days. Doncaster, again, it doesn't surprise me. I think they'll struggle this year. I got a lot of stick for saying this. I don't think they're recruited good enough. I don't like the manager. And I like this Wednesday team. I like the manager. I think it's, good knowledge of League One. It reminds me of when Parkinson went in at Bolton. And I think Wednesday will win this fairly comfortable 2-0. And Wimbledon did a very good job on them. McCormick, the new boy from Bristol Rovers, he was there, probably their only positive last year, getting a goal as well. And I think he got an assist as well. So, comfortable win for Wednesday.
And our last one is Oxford versus Charlton. So Charlton with Charlie Kirk there going off to Oxford. They drew 1-1 at Cambridge. Cliche ahoy, Oxford traditionally slow starters under Carl Robinson. Charlton to get off the mark. This smacks of a draw to me. Knappers, I don't know what you think. You think differently?
I think a 0-0 draw, personally. I think, again, slow starters against a team not quite ready, trying to get back to the full, trying to get their best team together. I think Oxford have more of an idea of their better team. Yes, they've lost a big marquee player in Rob Atkinson to Bristol City, but I think there'll be it'll be a tight draw. I think both sides are very good and they'll both be up there, but it's one of those, I think, it's a big call already. I think this is the one that could decide a playoff place at the end of the year. It's going to be that tight between those two. And we'll come back to this in May, but they'll both be there or thereabouts in the playoffs. And we'll both be there. I'm not quite sure, but I think one will.
There you go. Right. That is our review and our previews. We would love to get your questions in so we can open it up to anything in League One. Knappers, let's just indulge ourselves for a hot minute. Fleetwood 0, Pompey 1, opening day. What went down?
Well, again, I said to you off air, didn't I, Ben? I really worry about this Fleetwood side. We don't have enough goals. We don't have enough creativity. I think we struggle in front of goal. I think defensively we're okay. Midfield, we've got some good players. But if we don't score that first goal, we're screwed then. And as soon as, we had 3 or 4 very good chances that we didn't put away. And then they go and score a brilliant goal through Lee Brown, left back, sweet strike. And then after that, we ran out of ideas. We huffed and puffed, but it wasn't good enough. And a long season for us. We travelled to Lincoln, who lost in the playoffs last year. Michael Appleton want to get a reaction. Are they at full strength now? I don't think so. They've still got players coming back. But be a tough game. I can't see us getting anything, if I'm honest with you, mate.
Ouch. Get your questions in, by the way. We'll go on as long as there are questions coming in the comments. Just a quick minute on Ipswich. Look, I was joking with you lot all weekend. Look, all these signings for Ipswich 0, Morecambe 1. Wasn't far from the truth, but very much a sense with Ipswich of players that aren't really gelled together yet, and a lot of work needs to be done. And honestly, from looking at it, they still don't have, and this is something that doesn't exist at the club, this mental toughness and this winning do you know what I mean? This is years and years and years of one playoff finish in 15 years of not putting together a season of winning football, essentially, at the club at Ipswich. So, there really needs to be a change in mentality and this soft touch brittleness that still seems to exist there. And Burton away for Ipswich at the weekend. That's one where if you don't show up, you will lose. Right, we've got some questions coming in. Knappers. Alex, do you reckon Morecambe have it in them to stay up this season? What do you think, Knappers?
Absolutely. And I said to my dad on Tuesday night after the Stoke game, I'm always very true to myself in predictions, and I bottled it, if I'm honest with you. I put Morecambe in the bottom 4 and Fleetwood just above because I couldn't put Fleetwood in the bottom 4. I couldn't do it to myself. And I thought, right. And because Morecambe was an easy bet, but I like the look of Morecambe. I had a strong look at who they brought in over the summer, and they brought McAlmore, a couple of lads in loan from Hull City, and they brought some very smart businesses in to go to Blackburn 1-0 down, win 2-1, Stockton again scoring. They brought Phillips back to the club as well. If they can keep Lavelle, I'll be even more confident for them. If they lose him, I'll be a bit more worried. But they've got some very, very good business in so far, and I like it. I like them a lot. I know we're rivals, but the manager, Stephen Robinson, already loved by their supporters, which is very good to see. So I reckon they could go and finish 17th, 18th.
Doesn't do any harm when your striker bangs in 2 on the first weekend as well, does it? Always good. Wenlock, young team, thank you very, very much. £9 on the super chat. As with all of these, we'll split them down the middle. Thoughts on Sam Cosgrove to Shrewsbury? Also, congrats to Ben and Shaley. Thank you very much. I'm refusing to take congratulations and passing them all on to my poor missus after seeing what a female goes through during childbirth. But thank you very, very much, Wenlock Young Team. Sam Cosgrove is just a weird one because he went in for £2 million when Birmingham were stinking out the Championship under Karanka. And then he never played him. And they've got this striker who's unproven, who couldn't get on the pitch in the Championship. Good luck to the guy. I hope he does well. If he doesn't score goals at League One level for Shrewsbury, then that is going to be the biggest white elephant overspend striker that they are going to take a big loss on. So hopefully he can bank some goals in for Shrewsbury. And otherwise, Birmingham fans are going to be looking at that money has gone down the drain. Thank you again, Wenlock Young Team, for the super chat there. Chris, Burton doing anything playoff-wise after their miracle season last year? Can I reframe that, Ben? Are there too many of these kind of big clubs that are going to, even a sort of well-run club that perform well like Burton, too much traffic?
Yeah, but there's always one. There's always one that have a good season.
Well, look at Wycombe. They got right through, didn't they?
I think if I was a Burton fan or a Shrewsbury fan or someone like that, a Plymouth fan even, someone like that, I'd feel very positive that we can go toe to toe with these bigger teams again. Now they maybe improved from last year. Burton did very well. They've improved massively. They've got a Jimmy Forde Hasselbank team, and one big thing that doesn't get mentioned, Dino, a very experienced manager, never mind an assistant. Those two together have just, worked a very good partnership, and I like them. I do like Burton. 1-0 at the weekend, clean sheet, hard to beat, get a goal, sit on it. Do I believe we'll get the playoff? No, I'm not sure, but more than likely top 10 and will challenge.
Bits. Legendary. Thank you very, very much. Congratulations, Ben. Shaylee did fantastic, as I'm so happy for you both. Thank you very, very much, Bits. And if we pull back the curtain there, Bits actually popped in and bought us a present as well before that. So thank you very, very much, Bits. Very kind man. On the super chat there. Thoughts on Bielsa contract? All I'll say is I just find it funny how late he leaves it to sign it every year and keeps everyone guessing. With that guy, when nobody expects it, just like Bill Shankly, he'll just resign out of nowhere for no reason whatsoever at some point. It's just his style, isn't it? I'll take this one quickly, Knappers. How's Louis Barry looked so far, says AD. I haven't set up a fantasy league this season. I must admit, I did it all last season and then didn't keep up, so I don't want to let people down and do that. In terms of Louis Barry, I'm going to go back into the narrative that I just spoke about the poor mentality there's been at Ipswich. And for a young player loaning in, you want to go to a club where standards are set high and they can really gain something. You don't want to be thrown in as a young kid into some kind of toxic atmosphere. Think of like Mark McGuinness last season. Young players, the best scenario for young players is to be dripped in to winning teams really, really slowly and get up to those standards. So look, we're all really excited about Louis Barry and huge reputation, and obviously training there up at Villa and the academy stuff is obviously very high standard. I hope two things. One, that Ipswich start to get standards to a Villa Academy standard. And I also hope they haven't done one of these silly contracts where they're tracking the amount of minutes and it's written in. I don't think that helps the lone player sometimes. I think if they're not ready, don't put them in. And if you've got this contract that says, oh, we need X amount of minutes or we can exercise a break clause, and that doesn't help the natural progression of a young player trying to learn. So still optimistic. He's one of Ipswich's 50 attacking players as well. Top six. Can I point you to Knappers 1 to 24? When did that go up, buddy?
About 10 days ago, I released it. Again, I always like leaving it to the Monday before the season.
Smart.
Something I've done the last couple of years.
Me too.
People say, but I don't like leaving it too late because then it doesn't get kind of the traction. So I thought 5 days, perfect amount, and I've had a lot of nice. I thought I'd be inundated with horrible messages and having to wake up to going, you hate Shrewsbury Town, or you said this 3 months ago. Why have you changed your mind? You will realise with predictions, you change your, like fancy football, you change it every day. One sign is the difference.
And who was it? Who was in the top six? You can reveal it now.
Oh, absolutely. So I had, obviously, out the top six, I had Wycombe Wanderers. I think I had finishing in the top two. I had them finishing second. I had Sheffield Wednesday finishing fourth, I believe. Rotherham fifth. Charlton, I think I had them 6th or 7th, and Wigan 8th. So I had them all very, very high, but Wycombe are backed for automatic promotion. I think Gareth Ainsworth is a man. I absolutely love him. I think he's a great bloke, great manager. Wednesday like him. Darren Moore, superb man, superb coach, good team. Rotherham, again, superb manager. You want to play for Paul Ward. 2 promotions, can you make it 3? Wigan, learning stage. Liam Richardson's going to take a few hitters, but again, win a lot of games of football. Are they solid enough defensively? And Charlton, of course, very good team. Just need a few more bodies in.
Callum says, who's going to win the league? Bias at the door. Bias always at the door over here. Being so I get asked this so much through the season, I'm allowed to change my mind now through the season. And I know they're top after one game. But when you see Rotherham slowly start to get going and they're already up there and Paul Warner's stayed and Smith hasn't been sold and we think another few will come in, then let's land on the current league leaders, however predictable that sounds. This is an interesting question. Knappers. My money is on Moore to be sacked first out of all the promotion favourites. Who's yours on? And talking about promotion favourites, Pompey, Wycombe, Sunderland, Rotherham, Ipswich. I tell you what, if Paul Cook has not won games after that squad's been assembled around October time, he'll be the favourite of them to go. Do we think anyone's going to panic out of the League One big boys?
I think out of the daily departed teams that you got on your screen, Wycombe, like Accrington, like Burnley, regardless of what happens, Wycombe will not get rid of Gareth Ainsworth. Rotherham, I don't think will get rid of Paul Ward. I think if Paul Ward was to leave, Rotherham would be on his terms. I think both Wycombe and I think Paul Ward and Ainsworth have both done enough at those football clubs over the years to deserve the time when they want to go. I honestly believe Wigan, and I said to my mate Jack, who's a Preston fan and does a lot of championship work like yourself, and he agreed. I just look at him and I'm like, it reminded a bit like Lampard. A lot of the youth academy wants to impress him, wants to get into the Wigan team because they've thrived upon it for many years and they kept him up. But now he's dealing with egos. Now he's dealing with players on 10 grand a week. Now he's dealing with, players winning Range Rovers instead of, doing it for the loyalty of the club. You know what I mean? So he's gone from kind of this team full of youngsters brought in to prove himself in the game to a big switch over in kind of League One superstars. So if I was going to put anyone at the deal of departed, I'd put Liam Richardson.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I didn't think you'd answer that. That's a fascinating answer. Good.
You've got to remember as well, Atkins has just signed a new deal. Cook came in towards the back end of last year. Danny Cowley came in towards the back end of last year. So it will be interesting. I think Sunderland as well, he came in towards kind of the midway. If they're still fluttering around mid-table, I think, Lee Johnson, Shrieky Lee, he might win the first 6 and lose the next 16. So
you love to see him. It's an interesting one. Just where you were chatting, I've got Dion Charles' numbers up from last season. Gazza, probably with his Millwall hat on there. Is Dion Charles is he a £1 million player? So Accrington striker there, 19 in 42 starts. Not much in the way of assists, but doesn't matter when you're hitting nearly 20 goals. Scoring frequency every 195 minutes. Knappers, you're covering your eyes.
Well, Fleetwood had it when we released him on the frame. That is
I did not know that.
Ben, it's an absolute joke, and Tony, who obviously watches these streams, will agree. The amount of players that we brought through in recent years and we just let go and not giving them a chance in the first team due to managers, due to like Uwe didn't like it, and Barton wouldn't have it. And now we are positioned with the youth because Dion Charles, again, he just needed that little bit of time to gel. And Accrington sadly give these players from non-league a chance in League One, in the EFL, and they go, score goals. And And look at, Caden Jackson, who they pulled out, who sold to you for a good fee, not really proving himself. But
a very, very good fee was by the look of it.
Even if we sold him for 100 grand and put a 20 grand sell on, we've got 200 grand. Then this is why Fleetwood aren't self-sustainable, because we just don't sell at the right moment. We're getting better, and we've got some good players coming through the youth system. But to go back to Dion Charles,
that went into a Fleetwood rant, didn't it?
It did. But again, it just shows you the quality of him. He's doing it with very little chances. And if Joe Pigott, you class him as a £1 million player, why isn't Dion Charles?
Great. Knappers, which grounds are you looking forward to? You can pick out 2 or 3.
Well, yeah, obviously I'm on 48 out of the 92 now after Stoke, and 4 new grounds this year. Obviously Wednesday next week I'm buzzing for. And if I was going to go for another one, I'd probably go Wimbledon or Cheltenham or Cambridge, because not Wimbledon, because it's a new ground. Nobody's really from away fans have done it yet. So I'm looking forward to it. But Hillsborough, the traditional grounds, I absolutely love.
Yeah, I always love going to Hillsborough. Thoughts on Liam Manning to become head coach of MK? Is that happening, Jamie? I didn't think any decision had been made. You got any read on that one, Knappers?
Yeah, good. Good fit. I'm not going to be honest. I'm not going to be. Not going to lie. I'm not too paged about him, but I will have a.
It's a very MK hire, isn't it?
It is, but again, I like that. You know what I mean? They take risks, and the worst that'll happen, they can, give him a short-term deal. If it works, extend it like they did with Martin. But I think you've got to take what Russell Martin did. He did a very good job. He got him from about 19th to, being in the process of getting into the playoffs.
Nat, very on brand, asked about non-football related sports movies. I say it's on brand because I got home not having very much sleep, worrying about my 2 ladies in the hospital last night. I wanted to watch something. I watched this basketball thing on Netflix about a game that ended up in a fight between it was in 2004 as well. So, check that out on Netflix. Let me rattle through these. We've got about 6-7 minutes to go. Keep your questions coming. Has Penny played for you yet? He doesn't seem to be the most switched on defence, very politely put, Alex. He has. Matt Penny has played for Ipswich, but then Hayden Coulson has come in on loan from Borough. So, I think he's going to be a bit of a... Remember Cal Naismith, who used to play for Wigan, where Paul Cook literally just play him any position down the left-hand side? I think that's what he's going to do for Penny. Anir, Knappers, what are your thoughts on ex-Bristol City managers Steve Cotterill and Lee Johnson? Who would you rather have in your dugout?
Steve Cotterill every day of the week. I love him. I think he's... ask anyone. I'm a 19-year-old. You look like a 12-year-old. You have a 60s-year-old body. I love these old-fashioned, your Warnocks, your Cotterills, because they've been around and they've done it. And Cotterill's a very good manager. What he did when he first came into Shrewsbury, they were losing games. He got them winning. He got them scoring goals. He got them keeping clean sheets. And I looked at it and I'm like, we've got Joey Barton compared to Cotterill. 2 different characters, but Cotterill is very well measured. He's honest. He tells the truth, and that's what you want as a manager. You want a role model, and that's Steve Cotterill for you. And you talk to anyone that's played for him, they'll give you. I remember hearing Aaron Wilbraham talking about him, and now he's his assistant at Shrewsbury, but he speaks very fondly of him.
I'm sure he does. He would have been there when Bristol City got like 1 million points in League One, didn't he? So. Right, what are we doing? Let me just scroll down. Dion Charles is Fleetwood's equivalent to Jordan Rhodes at Ipswich. Yeah. We just had to forget we ever had Jordan Rhodes and shipped him out for 250 grand while spending loads of money on other far worse striker. Peterborough fan here. We have no fit strikers at all. Are the Caden Jackson links likely? Yeah, probably. They want out. Peterborough love strikers. Look, if Peterborough are in League One and Ipswich sold Caden Jackson to them, I would predict 25 goals immediately just because of the way Peterborough set up. But I think you can have worse players in your group of strikers with Marriott and Clark Harris and who's the other really good? Dembele, Smodic at Peterborough. Take Jackson, I'll drive. And that's appalling bits. See, look, he was so nice with his super chat, and he's just buried poor old Caden Jackson there. Okay. 1 to 8 favourite. There you go. New MK manager tomorrow. Math. I love this channel. I'm a lead supporter, but love the discussions in here. Comment of the day. Keep your questions coming in. I think I've ran the well dry. We'll go 4. We're at 55:40. We'll go up until the hour. If you can get some more questions in for us. Let me just do my plugs one more time. Patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Great group of subscribers over there. We started with a round table the other day and had a few of you talking about your own clubs, which was awesome. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. What's yours, Knappers?
FGFC Knappers.
Yeah, just type in Knappers. I never remember that. I just type in Knappers if I want to send a DM to him or whatever. You can buy some merchandise. Benjamin Bloom merch.store. Look, I'll stop doing the plugs if you put some questions in there. I'm padded now. Thank you for the super chats. I don't really want to plug them again because you've already been so kind today. But do hit that damn subscribe button. Completely free, and hit the like button as well. This is our dearly departed League One edition. Let's do a few more before we go. Alex, you're not convinced Grayson is good enough to keep you up? Knappers, quite like him personally. Very experienced manager.
Yeah, it very is. And I'm not blaming Grayson. I personally kept us up because of him, because he did a very good job last year. I think it was 8 wins, 8 draws and 6 defeats from a side that had won 1 in 12, something like that. So I've experience, but he can only work with the squad he's got. The squad he's got is simply not good enough in a lot of areas. Don't score goals, haven't got the firepower, and I feel for him. And he's going to be the whipping boy at the end of the day. And I didn't agree with giving him a 3-year deal, but giving him a 2-year deal, maybe. But will he keep us up? Let's see.
Peterborough in desperate. Is that President Trump in there? There he is. Look, in desperate need of faith. Derby slightly build confidence. Thoughts on McCanty? I quite like McCanty. Sometimes I find him a bit bullish, but look, I'd rather we had owners who were straight talking like that. Burton and Shrewsbury gate crash in the top 8. I'd have Burton over Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
You agree with that one, Knappers? Thank you, Chris. Red Man. Sorry, go ahead, Knappers. Go on.
I could see Shrewsbury because of Cottrell, but Burton, I agree, yeah.
Website we use for the stats is SofaScore. So go and check that out. They're not a sponsor. I just like it. There we go. A selfless plug, Knappers. They do exist. Charlie Wyke, is he really any good? I say yes. I don't think Knappers agrees. I think he thinks McGeady had a big influence on that. Am I right?
I like him because he puts the ball in the back of the net, but he can't do it on his own. And that's what the good strikers do. Your Clark Harrises, your Tonys. They get the ball into the area and they just finish it with aplomb. And I just don't think Charlie Wyke does that.
Any of the existing one clubs equipped to do and he means Sheffield United there, and go straight through the Championship? It's so hard, isn't it? The Sheffield United thing was just lightning in a bottle with a manager who played for the club, innovative tactics, and just everything went brilliantly for 2 seasons. I hate to be a curmudgeon. I see that happening once every 10 seasons, probably. So it's a no from me, Lee. Lenny asks you, Knappers, thoughts on Max Clark and Dan Batty?
Max Clark, legend, watches the Cods Vlogs channel, as he shouted to me the other day.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
Oh, do you reckon you can get an interview?
Oh, I work on it. But, good player. Clark's very good going forward. Defensively, sometimes caught out, but playing a back 3, you get that. Dan Batty, short on minutes at the minute, but a very good player. Passes the ball, pings it, and different gravy, that lad.
Harrison at Portsmouth, any good? They're winding me up with all these ex-Ipswich players. I liked Harrison. I thought he played with personality and reasonable physicality. Paul Lambert, what can I say? Paul Lambert doesn't agree with me, and we'll leave it at that. And he could have gone out to Sunderland before. So I quite like him, but more qualified people about football than me say no. A quick one on a top scorer.
It's brutal. Pigott.
Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Right. I think we are pretty much there. Warren says we came in for a foreign club. Immediately rejected. Probably Smith. See? They are linking up. Watford did go back-to-back in 97, 98, and 98, 99. Well, so did Manchester City a couple of seasons later. And again, exactly the same thing. I would liken Chris Wilder's synergy with Sheffield United with Graham Taylor's at Watford. Graham Taylor was the England manager, for goodness sake. What was he doing in League One for crying out loud? Right. Oh, anyone knows if they're going to mention John Walker or Marcus Stewart, I'm going to put the comment up, aren't I? Even if it's completely irrelevant to what we're saying. Right. Thank you, everybody. Great stuff. I've really enjoyed this. We didn't know whether we were going to get a show in this week. I messed Knappers about all week, not giving him a time or a place. So that is our episode 2 of the Dearly Departed, our week 1 review. I quite like Thursday, actually. You could get a good read on both things. Is it 3-game week next week, Knappers?
It is, yes. Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, and we go to Wednesday in one of them. So looking forward to that. Lots to talk about next week.
Yes. So come and join us. Again, only 5 teams covered on here, and you can hear about all 24. Do the plug, Knappers.
CODS Vlogs, said it at the start of the show. CODS, Vlogs, VLOGS. If you want to go and give a subscription, we're trying to get to 7,000. Lots of League One content this season. Beautiful stuff.
Follow me on Twitter. I assume you've already subscribed here. Thank you very, very much for watching. We'll stick some of your nice thank yous up through the outro. And I suspect if I can get my missus and my baby home and some sense of calm, we will be back at a similar time. Please forgive me if we have to pre-record this maybe for a week or two, but we'll get it done. If we miss a week, I'm sorry. Seismic changes in my household. And thank you, everybody, for the good wishes. Say goodbye, Knappers.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching. And I really appreciate the support. And thanks again, Ben.
Over and out from me. See you next week. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.